In this video, I'm going to share with you my top tips on how to make your CV stand out from the crowd. Hi, I'm Jacqueline Pigdon and welcome to today's coaching session. So when applying for a job and sending your CV in as an application for it, your CV could land amongst hundreds, if not thousands, of other CVs. How do we get your CV to stand out from the crowd? Well, my number one tip for you is to put something in very unique, something that's moving with the times and showing that you're serious about landing that ideal job for you. So what is it? So my first tip for you, amongst ensuring your CV is well written, nicely formatted, and outlining your strengths and experiences, there's one thing that I'd like you to put at the top, and that is to create your own website. So you don't need to be a business to have a website these days. You need to have one for your own personal branding. So imagine your CV amongst hundreds, if not thousands of others, and right at the top with your personal details, you invite the potential employer to have a look at your website. So what do you put on your website? Here is where you can be creative. You can put things about you that you love, what your values are, your experience, and a little bit about yourself. You can have a photograph, make it interactive, even with a video. Now, how much is this going to impress a potential employer? A lot more so than just a plain document with text that looks pretty much like everyone else's. Now, of course, your text document as a CV or resume is still important, but you want to show your potential employer that you're really moving with the times and give them the best opportunity to get to know you, to help them decide if they would like to invite you for an interview. So what do you put on your website? You could have it simply as a one page, so you could have some pictures, some information about yourself, or you can have several pages. It's really up to you. Now you might think, oh, well, I'm not that technical. How do I create my own website for your own personal branding? Well, there's many options out there, and you can look at websites, for example, like elance.com, guru.com, or even fiverr.com. And here you will find lots of experts that will more than willing to engage with you and discuss on how they might be able to make a personal website for you. So basically you can visit those websites and have a look, and there's different ranges of expertise and there's varying costs. So you can have a look to see if you can create your own website or maybe engage with someone else to really help you stand out from the crowd, that's showing your employer that this is who you are, these are your passions, these are your skills, this is your experience, and this is so much about you to help you stand out from everybody else. Now, before you go creating your website, you need to register your domain name. Now, having a personal website, you really want to do this as soon as possible to try and get your name. So, for example, I have some businesses and I have GinaLife.com, LoveMondaysNow.com, and I'm part of my mum's business of MariePigdon.com. Now, they're all business websites, but I've actually registered my name JacquelinePigdon.com as well, because at some stage down the track I'd like to put a place where that's a bit about me and the different businesses and things that I do. But if you don't have a business, this is where you can already start with your first website and start creating some content on there. So the first thing that you need to do is make sure you've registered your domain name. So a popular site that you can go to do this is GoDaddy.com. And I highly recommend it because these domain names are getting snapped up fast. So even if you think you're not ready to create a website for yourself to put on your CV to give you the best chance of standing out from the crowd, do go and register your domain name so in future it will be there. So check if your name or a variety of something close, you might need to use an initial and so forth, but if you can just get your Christian name and your surname, or even your christianname.com, that would be fantastic. Now, here's a tip. Another tip is if you have some children, you might like to register their name as well. So in future, when they grow up, they've got access to their own name and they can create whatever they may like on their own personal branding website. Now, my second tip for you on how to make your CV stand out from the crowd is if you're not ready to make an entire website about yourself just yet, you could consider making a blog. You can go to wordpress.com and start making a blog right away. So on your blog, I'd recommend, similar to your website, you can post some things about you, what your strengths, your experiences are. However, there's something else you can do with your blog. And that is, if you haven't got any experience in a particular field yet, but you know you're passionate about it and you'd love to get a job in a certain industry, yet you just don't have any experience on your CV yet. So how do you show a potential employer why you would be a great candidate to have that job that they have on offer? Well, what you can do with your blog, for example, perhaps you're really passionate about the health and wellness industry. You can create your own blog. You can put a nice little banner about health and wellness. You can go to fiverr.com and engage with a graphic designer to make a nice little blog banner. And then you can start posting and writing comments about that industry. So you might like to write a bit about nutrition or yoga or exercise plans. If not, that's your industry, you might like to get into environmental issues of today, and therefore you can create a little blog and start posting your thoughts and tips on how we can look after the environment that we live in. Maybe you'd like to get in the technical industry in IT and you love gadgets and all things new and techy. So in that case, you could have a blog that shows your interests and passions about technology, perhaps what you're using right now, what your ideas, and what your take is on it. The thing is, it's about making you unique and voicing your voice out there to a potential employer to see if you would be perfect for their job. So there's some ideas of how you can incorporate a link on your CV to your own blog that really shows a potential employer just how passionate and excited you are about getting into their industry. Of course, you can always have a blog on your website as well. So you can start with a full-blown website, including a blog, or you can start with a blog, and then as you go, you can create some more pages around it. So my third tip for you is to perhaps consider making a Facebook fan page. Now, this is different from your personal Facebook profile. This is somewhere that you can post, again, very similar to your blog, but you can help get interaction and likes and followers. So you can post videos, you can post pictures and content on your Facebook fan page, and that again can show a personal side of you and what your passions are to a prospective employer. So, I hope you've enjoyed my 3 tips for today. Once again, in summary, I highly recommend you registering your domain name so you will have your domain ready to create a personal website, maybe right away or sometime down the future. 2, create a blog so you can share with the world what your passions and your experience and have your voice going out there to a potential employer. Or 3, create a Facebook fan page. So I hope you've enjoyed my career coaching tips for today. I wish you all the best in implementing one or all of these strategies to help you stand out from the crowd with your CV and help you land your ideal job or your next promotion via a new and improved CV or resume. So until next time, I'm Jacqueline Pigdon, and I hope you have a fantastic day.